All right. The webinar is being broadcast right now.
I'll wait till we get us up to 20, then we can start. Yeah, on. Wait till we get to. Hey, Chris, just to double check, are you recording this one as well?
Yes.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jorge Perez, and I'm the Executive Director of HACIA, the Hispanic American Construction Industry Association, and happy to be broadcasting to you live from what we call the HACIA Studios, located at 650 West Lake Street in Chicago. This afternoon, we have put together a virtual open house for one of our more exciting programs that we put together recently, and it's a program that we wanted to be able to provide to you and use this format also as a way to introduce you to the program and to provide some more background on the program and how it fits into the overall construction industry, as well as neighborhood development in Chicago, and in particular, the Little Village community. As I mentioned before, my name is Jorge Perez. One thing that HACIA has a wonderful track record on is working very diligently to ensure that our members get an opportunity to be involved in construction projects throughout the state of Illinois, from the design stage of it, through the engineering, through the construction, and what we say sometimes is the definitely from the cleanup of it as well. But in the course of our 41-year history, we have, for the most part, provided a leadership for existing firms or for individuals who are in the and want to enter the construction industry as an owner's perspective. A lot of our training has been geared around building up their capacity so that they can grow and be more effective and compete more effectively in the construction industry, particularly for those who want to work on publicly financed projects. And we've got a wonderful track record in that endeavor. But there's another side to helping individuals as well in the construction industry, and looking at ways to onboard them or introduce them into the industry is something that we've always strived to do. With this opportunity with Hilco Redevelopment and Exchange 55, there is a wonderful opportunity where Hilco Redevelopment Partners approached us, and we had a wonderful conversation saying, how do you get the mechanics together in providing opportunities for individuals to work on an existing project? Exchange 55, which we'll hear about in a little bit from Hilco, is a tremendous project that will ultimately provide a very necessary economic boon and impact to the Little Village, as well as the Lawndale community and really overall Chicago. This type of industrial development has been rare in Chicago over the last probably 4 decades. And it's very exciting to see that this is ongoing now and will soon be a reality. But this program that we're going to hear about today is our Laborers Pre-Apprenticeship program. and you'll hear all the ins and outs about it, a full briefing from our strategic partner, St. Augustine College and the Institute for Workforce Excellence. And you also hear from Hilco Redevelopment Partners as well, and they'll tell you a little bit more about the project and how they see this program interacting with their redevelopment of the site there. And then we're also going to hear from an individual who is currently going through a sort of a sister program that we're providing as well. But one thing we want to leave you with is that overall understanding that at HACIA, we're definitely leaders in providing opportunities for our members and for other minority and women business and disadvantaged businesses throughout the state of Illinois. But we're trying to expand our efforts in providing assistance and technical training for job seekers who want to enter into the construction industry. At this point, what I'm going to do is introduce you to a gentleman by the name of Brian Sheehan. He is with Hilco Redevelopment Partners, and he's got a few words that he wanted to say as well. So at this point, I'll hand over the floor to you, Brian, and you can begin when you want.
Sounds good. Thanks, Jorge. As Jorge mentioned, I'm Brian Sheehan from Hilco Redevelopment Partners. You know, I've only been with Hilco about 6 months, but I have had the pleasure of partnering with HACIA on various projects throughout the Chicago area for the last 5 years or so. So I've got a chance to work with Jorge and his team quite a bit. Just give you guys a quick background on my company, Hilco Redevelopment Partners. So we're national real estate development firm based out of Chicago. So as a developer, you know, we act as the owner and the landlord on new building projects, which are typically leased to tenants. Some of the tenants that we've worked with include Amazon, Home Depot, Under Armour, just to name a few. And most of the assets that we develop are brownfield redevelopment projects. So really what that means is, you know, brownfield, meaning there's inherently some environmental conditions associated with the property. Redevelopment, meaning that the site's essentially operated as something else in the past that's since run its useful life. So examples of that are old power plants like Crawford, Exchange 55, old refineries, steel mills that have closed down. So we'll come in, clean up the assets, create something modern and sustainable. And along with that comes, you know, new tax base, job creation, improved infrastructure, things like that. So I mentioned Exchange 55, the project you guys are probably, or everyone on the in the meeting today may be most familiar with. So it's the old Crawford power plant in Little Village, right at Pulaski Road and 55, closed down in 2012. So currently we're in the final stages of demolition of the old structures on the site. And simultaneously, I know Jorge, you mentioned you've been out to the project. I hope others will get a chance to visit. But while some of the structures are still standing, we're simultaneously building the new Exchange 55 building, which is a 1.3 million square foot industrial facility. It's about 50% complete. And we anticipate that this building is going to be opened up by summer of next year. The new building will create 1,000 new jobs. And one of the other things we're proud of with the building is once it's complete, it's going to be the largest LEED certified industrial building in all of Chicago. For those of you who may not be familiar with LEED, LEED's a very detailed sustainability program that's run through the U.S. Green Building Council, tracks items like green energy, solar panels, water usage, HVAC efficiency, landscaping, and really all amenities that help make a building environmentally friendly and sustainable. So that's a little bit about Hilco and Exchange 55. And then, you know, when Jorge and Juan approached us about sponsoring the Pre-Apprenticeship program, you know, it was really intriguing to us for really a variety of reasons. Mainly the focus on job creation in the local community, which is very important to us, as well as job creation in a way that we aren't typically able to participate in. And what I mean by that is, you know, usually we have some involvement as the owner and developer in kind of the upfront hiring and construction, not directly, but through our contractors and subcontractors and consultants through the trades. So in the case of Exchange 55, we partnered with labor and the other unions that are signatory through the signing of a project labor agreement. So in addition, once a building is complete, once a project is complete and operational, like I said, we own and lease the buildings. So it's really our tenants that we lease to that are responsible for the operational aspects, including hiring of new employees. So really, to summarize, I think the best way to say it is, you know, we see construction jobs through contractors that pull from the union halls and full-time jobs at the end of construction. But anytime someone comes to someone like us and says, you know, that they're interested in working in the construction trades or on one of our projects, we never really in the past had a tool that we could give them that provides guidance and kind of put them on the right path. So this is exactly what this HACIA pre-apprenticeship program does, and why it's so unique and exciting for us is it bridges the gap from what I just talked about, and really fosters guidance and education and really the initial training for someone that's interested in construction. You know, it's very exciting, and I believe this is the first time an industrial developer has been able to provide this type of training, especially for local residents in the community. So we're very excited to be a part of it. You know, hopefully by the end of the program, you know, the hope as we monitor and check the progress, we hope that some of the folks on the phone, some of the folks in the training program will actually be able to work on construction at Exchange 55, either as apprentice or for a contractor, or even at one of our projects elsewhere. You know, construction is definitely a really good industry to be getting into right now. And certainly we'd be happy to make introductions for anybody to contractors or GCs or consultants, or help, you know, guide individuals to place them into different apprenticeship programs through the various trades. So with that, I want to thank Jorge, Juan, Froylan, the whole HACIA team for putting this amazing program together. And thank you for the participants who have signed up, those who hope to sign up. It's really great to see you make a commitment to the construction industry, and I look forward to seeing the successful implementation of the program in the coming months. So thanks, everyone.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Brian. Thank you to Hilco Redevelopment Partners. Now, for those of you who just popped onto the webinar, forgot to mention as well, for those of you who've been on this at the beginning, we will take Q&A at the end of the presentations. You do have an opportunity to post them using the Q&A component of the Zoom webinar. Cristina Aguirre is actually controlling the board here. She is our executive producer, director, and stagehand as well. So definitely, if you have any questions, feel free to post them in there, and then we'll get to them at the end of the presentation. So, and with that, we get to our next speaker. We have Dr. Norma Ruano from St. Augustine College, the Institute for Workforce Excellence. So Dr. Ruano, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Jorge. I appreciate the opportunity to be here. It's a pleasure once again to partner with HACIA. We have been partnering with HACIA for about 15 years in creating and delivering innovative programming in the construction industry, not only for business owners, but also for community members interested in joining the construction industry. So it's a pleasure to be here again. And Brian, we appreciate the generous funding coming from Hilco for this project. It definitely shows social responsibility and commitment to the community, and it's a great way of investing in these communities, in the Little Village area and other surrounding communities. I wanted to take some time to talk about the program, the technical details of the program, and hopefully some of the questions that I have been seeing on the board are answered, but if they are not, please continue to ask your questions and we'll be more than happy to answer them either as we go along or more importantly at the end of the presentation. It is a free program to the participants. And this is a very intensive program. I'm going to show you some details about the program. You probably will see some of these details in different marketing information that is going to be around in the community. The program itself is called Construction Laborer Pre-Apprenticeship Training Program, and it's an entry point into the construction industry. It's a program that was designed not only with feedback and input from HACIA, but also, more importantly, industry experts throughout the country through the National Center for Construction Education and Research. It's a program that is based on a career ladder model, meaning individuals come in through this program, successfully completed, and then they have various options to continue their careers in construction, either directly working for a company, moving on to an apprenticeship program with a union, or at the same time, HACIA offers two other programs, one in carpentry and one in electricity. So if you wanted to join one of those programs, you could certainly do that after you complete this program. It's very important to know that this program, because it's based on the standards that the construction industry follows, provides participants with key national certifications that they can use in the construction industry. The first is an NCCER core curriculum certification. This is a national construction industry certification, is the entry level certification for construction. It also provides individuals with an OSHA 10-hour safety certification, which is the standard also to work in construction, and then also a first aid CPR certification. Those three certifications are built into the program, and as I mentioned, this is a free program for individuals that qualify and that are accepted into the program. If you wonder if you need to have any experience in order to enter the program and succeed in the program, you do not need to have any experience in construction. You just need to have an interest in construction and be committed to completing the program successfully. You do need to have a GED certificate or a high school diploma in order to participate. And in a minute, I will be talking about the process that you have to go through in order to participate. But I also want to address some of the other prerequisites that are also very important. You need to be at least 18 years of age, have a valid driver's license. As you may understand, people that work in the construction industry work in different sites throughout the metro area, and it's important that they can go to places with their own means of transportation. We also follow a policy of random drug testing at HACIA and St. Augustine College for these types of programs, so you need to be able to pass a substance test, illegal substance test, and you need to physically be able to perform the work of the trade. This is very important because if you decide to move on to an apprenticeship program, you're going to have to have all of these requirements in order to enter an apprenticeship program. At the same time, you have to show that you have the 9th grade level in reading and math, important for the performance not only of the tasks required of the program, but also as you move on in construction, you need to have a certain level of math to be successful. And then you will have to sign a commitment letter in order to participate in the program. One of the questions that I saw was the length of the program. It's 152 hours of instruction. You would attend 4 hours a day, 3 days a week for 13 weeks. So it's a very quick turnaround. 3 days a week, 4 hours a day, 13 weeks. That means that you'll be in class 12 hours a week. Something that is very important here is, given COVID, how are we delivering these programs now in the city of Chicago? So we are using a hybrid model. Some of the training is delivered online with a synchronous model, meaning there is an instructor that is actually delivering the class online, and students are required to attend class from a certain time to a certain time. Once we move on to do the hands-on components of the program, which are required for construction programs, we follow a very strict socially distanced COVID protocol in order to ensure safety for our programs. And the hands-on component will be delivered at our St. Augustine College facility at 25th and Rockwell. So it's a hybrid program again. Some of it is online and some of it will be delivered face-to-face, particularly the components that require hands-on instruction. So what are the expectations in terms of job market? Well, this type of position or job that you're training for has a very good growth potential. It's expected by Department of Labor to grow 11% from 2018 to 2028, which is a lot faster than most occupations out there in the market. As has been mentioned before, both by Jorge and Brian, the construction industry is a very promising industry. There's a lot of potential, not only now, but in the future. Huge amounts of projects are being funded by the government in the next 10 years. So there's definitely huge potential here for those individuals that are interested in the construction industry and are willing to make the commitment. The other thing that I wanted to mention is there's a significant amount of training that you will get. You will notice here that the program is divided in 12 parts, everything from construction math, which is fundamental to be able to succeed in this industry, to learning how to read drawings. There's the OSHA certification, the first aid certification. You learn how to use tools, hand tools, power tools, how to do basic rigging, how to handle materials. You also learn a variety of employability skills, how to interview, how to work in teams, how to relate to your supervisor, how to be professional at the work site. We also teach you specific techniques on how to take tests, because if you want to go on to the union and do an apprenticeship program, you need to be able to pass certain tests that they have. And you also do a construction practicum, which means you will put into practice whatever you've learned in the classroom. All of this, again, is 152 hours of instruction to be delivered in 13 weeks. So that's with regards to the program itself. As you can see, it's very comprehensive. And as I mentioned, is the entry point into the construction industry. I wanted to now address, if you are interested in participating, how do you go about it? You will notice the contact information here for Alejandro de la Luz, who's the project manager at St. Augustine College in charge of this program. His phone number is there, 773-878-3757, and his email address is also provided. You can send him an email, give him a call, let him know about your interest. Alejandro will then do what we call a pre-screening to determine your eligibility into the program. And if you are eligible, he will schedule you for testing. You have to take a tape test. It's an online test that is being proctored to determine your level of math and your level of reading in order to participate in the program. If you are able to get the scores that we need for the tape test, both in math and in reading, you will then be scheduled for an interview with the HACIA project manager and the St. Augustine College project manager to determine if they accept you into the program. And if you are accepted into the program, again, it will be free to you. You'll have to sign some documents, a commitment letter, and you'll be given information about when the program will start. But that's the process for application and for acceptance into the program. We are right now actively recruiting for this program, focusing in the communities, the Little Village community and other surrounding communities, looking for individuals to participate in the program that are qualified and committed and interested. So we would encourage you, if you have an interest in the program, to please contact us. You could also communicate with HACIA. HACIA will be posting Matt's information, and Matt is the project manager at HACIA in charge of this program. You can communicate directly with him also and go through the process, or directly with Alejandro de la Luz at St. Augustine College. So that's the technical information for the program. I'll give it back to Jorge now to continue with the program for today. Thank you, Jorge.
Thank you, Dr. Ruano. We want to hear from someone at this point who's been doing the program. We have Ricardo Cepeda to give a little testimonial. So Ricardo, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Jorge. Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, on behalf of all the trainees that we are currently in the pre-apprenticeship program, I'd like to thank everybody who makes this possible. So giving you a little bit of history about me, my background is basically hospitality. Since COVID started, we were hit really bad. And then it came up to this great opportunity to learn a trade. Why? I'm a guy who likes to work with my hands. And then I got my GED through San Agustin College. So they shoot me an email or explain about this pre-apprenticeship electrical program. So I decided to sign up. I did have no expectations. Like I said, hospitality management. So basically, I wanted to give it a shot. Well, I'm quite surprised. Everything worked out to be perfect. Like Dr. Ruano said, you'll earn a couple of certifications, learn how to work safe. They teach you how to use hand tools. And then we had these hybrid classes. So half of it, which is the theoretical, you will get it online through a Zoom call 3 times a week. Math, construction drawings. You also get to CPR certifications. You get, you will learn skills that you will use them later on in life. And for that, I'm really grateful. Right now, as I speak, we are moved to the practical electrical part of the program, which I'm really excited about it. The thing that it moves me is that every time I step into the classroom, I learn something different. So you will be prepared, in this case, as an electrician one at the end of this, and you can take your career, because I truly believe that you can build up a career after this. Trades are gonna be one of those things that we always need, construction, anywhere. So they will kick you with everything that you need to go from the union to start your job, to go work with a company. I mean, the sky's the limit is the way I see it.
Cool. All right. Thank you, Ricardo. I'm glad you're enjoying the program. Appreciate the testimonial. At this point, we have some questions that have been sent over. So I'm going to ask a couple of these. All right, so we'll go with the first one. So question, how long is this class and what is estimated time that we will start working?
So if I
Dr.
can
Ruano?
answer that, so the program itself is 152 hours. It will take 13 weeks to complete it. The goal is to provide career services to students, start prepping students for employment or transition to other programs or apprenticeship programs at the unions right after they complete the program. So our goal obviously is to start on the 19th of October. It will take 13 weeks after that. So I would say early in the year, 2021, that's when we're going to start seeing students transition into whatever career paths they desire.
Okay. Okay, we have another question. Do you have to have experience? And I think we said it, you do not, but Dr. Ruano, if you wanted to add to it.
Very good. Yeah, certainly. We are not looking for individuals that are experienced in construction. We're only looking for individuals that have an interest in construction and that really want to make a commitment to this industry. So no experience is required.
Awesome. All right, and then there's another question here. Is this program sponsored by HACIA? Is there a fee for applicants? So the answer is, you know, we're the entity that's bringing the program to you. Hilco Redevelopment Partners is the sponsor of the program. We're administering it along with our partner, St. Augustine College's Institute for Workforce Excellence. And there is no fee for the applicants at all. You just need to make sure that you, if you get through our application process, you have to make a commitment and make the commitment of time to be at every class. And so, you know, Dr. Rana went through the requirements of how many days and how many hours a week you have to complete it and how many weeks. And that's what we ask of all the applicants, just to understand that, you know, we're very serious here at HACIA in terms of the construction industry for our members and for job seekers who go through our program. So we really want to make sure the individuals are really committed to the program. Dr. Morano, did you want to add anything?
You know, I think we should definitely emphasize that point. It's very important for individuals that are interested, or anybody out there interested in referring candidates, to know that we are looking for the most committed individuals and the most interested individuals. A testament to that is we have 4 different programs running right now for HACIA with a retention rate of 95%, about 200 hours have been done already for those programs, for each of the programs. So that tells you the commitment of the individuals in that program. And it is because we are particularly looking for individuals that are very committed to not only joining, but also staying and making sure that they successfully complete the program.
Yep, absolutely. You know, and for all the viewers out there, if you want to get a better sense of the other programming that we do at HACIA, you know, go to our YouTube page. It's HACIA.org, capital HACIA, and then lowercase org, and then you'll get all the videos that we put together that highlight our members, our activities at HACIA, our graduations that we put together for all of our capacity building programs, and it gives you a really good snapshot of HACIA as a whole and our particular programming. Another question here is, do you need any background knowledge to get into the class?
The only requirement that you will have to demonstrate is through the take test, we're going to be looking for a certain level of reading and basic math. We will teach you shop math and construction math in the program, but we are looking for a certain level of reading and also basic math in order to participate in the program. That's the only background necessary. And obviously, as the prerequisites clearly stated on the document that we went over, individuals need to have a high school diploma or a GED certificate.
Very good, very good. And you know, I just wanted to add, in terms of the opportunities for construction, Dr. Urano spoke on how much construction is out there over the next 10 years, and it's quite a bit. Now we are in this little sort of uncertain time because of the pandemic, but there are still quite a bit of projects that are funded and that are planned in terms of what they call heavy infrastructure. So anything from the airport to roads and bridges, there's probably, and then you have all the private development as well. It's close to about $60 billion in total. There's a $45 billion capital plan that the state of Illinois had put together last year, and that's finally starting to roll out. And you'll see it reverberate throughout our local economies. You know, here in Chicago, you know, for those of you who have gotten very tired, I know sometimes I get, of all the streets being tore up for the water sewer implementation. I mean, they're upgrading that part of the infrastructure system as well. But there's quite a bit of other projects that are funded. If you look around the Chicagoland area, there's quite a bit of residential housing. A lot of our members get involved from housing projects all the way through on one end of the spectrum, from affordable housing all the way through to market rate and to luxury housing as well. So, you know, our members get involved. Anyway, we need to emphasize as well, we have a base of members that are part of HACIA who are also looking for workers as well. So we definitely, as you go through this program, we'll be introduced to that side of HACIA. And we have some really interesting and exciting ideas of how we can integrate those. But those two parts of the marketplace, the business aspect as well as the job seeker aspect, are critical to be connected. And we want to be that conduit for our larger community. So let me go to a couple more questions here. When are the registrations? The registrations are being taken now. Dr. Ruana, did you want to add anything else to that?
It's important to emphasize that we are already in the process of registering individuals for the program. And as I mentioned, if you have an interest, please communicate with our project manager, Alejandro de la Luz at St. Augustine College, as soon as possible, or Matt at HACIA, and he provided his information in the chat box so that you can communicate with them if you have an interest in participating.
Mm-hmm. All right, a few more questions. Is there a dateline to apply for the program?
Not really. I mean, we are working very hard to fill the cohort. And the earlier that you apply, the better. We have a maximum of 20 individuals that we're going to take in this program. So if you apply as soon as possible, it'll be great.
All right. Okay, another question. What is the success rate of employment for previous participants?
Well, you know, that's a very good question. HACIA is presently working on 4 different cohorts in electricity and carpentry. We'll be able to answer that question in the next few months. But the model that HACIA is using, which is a direct connection to employment versus just sending out their individuals so that they can find employment, it's a different model. So, you know, stay connected. We'll be more than happy to publish numbers in the months to come about those 4 programs that we're running right now.
All right. And we have the question, what if you don't live in those zip codes?
Very good question. We are giving particular preference to individuals in those target areas. However, there may be an opportunity for highly qualified individuals that do not live in those areas to also participate. So don't let that discourage you. Communicate with the project manager so that you can put your name in the, you know, on the list and go through the process.
Yep. Yeah, I know in the office we had some individuals call in. I know there was one individual from Calumet City who was interested in it as well. So, you know, we are definitely getting a lot of interest as well from all parts of the city. In the region. Another question here. You know, we have the very advanced method of Juan scribing all of these questions on a big old Post-it. But here's another question. Is the starter test hard? Is the starter test hard? And do you take it before the class, or is it like a final?
Very, very good question. So now we're talking about assessment methodologies here. So, you know, the tape test that I mentioned that is taken online, it's actually just a test for us to know the level of reading and math skills that you have. However, if you are accepted into the program, there will be a significant amount of testing that we do as required by the certifying body for the National Construction Certification. So before we start a particular class, you have to take a test, and after you finish the class, you have to take another test. So there will probably be several tests that will have to be taken. However, you will not take what we call a post-test after you receive high quality instruction. So you would be prepared to handle it. I can tell you, on average, the huge majority of students that go to class and do what they're supposed to do and participate do very well in these types of programs. And on average, they score at an 84%. So, you know, that shouldn't be a big concern. If you're there, you're participating, you're engaged, you would definitely be successful.
Okay. It looks like the final question here is the program only going to be located in one location or multiple settings?
Good question. This program here, the one sponsored by Hilco, it's only being delivered out of our facility on 25th and Rockwell because that's the target community where this project is, where the Hilco project is happening. However, as I mentioned before, HACIA has other programs in the carpentry and electrical trades that are being offered not only in the Rockwell facility, but also in Aurora and in our North Campus in Uptown Chicago. So if you have an interest in any of those programs, let us know. But those are carpentry and electrical pre-apprenticeship programs different than the program that we're promoting now.
Yep. Very good. Just one more check to see. Christina, do we have any more questions that have come in? No. No? Okay. Yeah, it would be
I saw
worth
one more
noting.
question, Jorge. There was one more question on there. I don't think it was answered. If there's an age limit.
There is no age limit for the program. The only thing we're looking for is individuals that are committed to participating and that can go through the screening process successfully. But there is no age limit to the program.
Okay. Very good. Yeah, I was going to mention that, it goes without saying that, obviously over the last 7 months, there's been quite a bit of social unrest and people more and corporations are talking more about social responsibility, diversity and inclusion. I mean, those are things that we've been working on at HACIA for the last 41 years. And that's how long this organization has been around. And that's been our mission, is diversity and inclusion, obviously for Hispanics, the name is on the door, but it's also to look at other, what we've been able to do is open up opportunities for other minority groups as well. And we're very, very obviously pleased and ecstatic and proud that we've been able to do that effectively. And, what is interesting is that the construction industry, particularly the union industry, there's always been questions about its diversity. And there's other initiatives going on right now to look at how to properly address that. And the unions do their work on it as well. But we know that of all the feeders into the industry, providing trained individuals who are ready to go and take the next step of an apprenticeship program, for example, we know that we have a very good track record in the industry at HACIA. We definitely have a lot of key relationships and strategic partners, but we also have a very strong base of companies who are members of HACIA. And these are general contractors. On one end, they could be corporate members, or what we call corporate members, and those are the large general contractors like Walsh and Power Construction, for example. But a big part of our base are subcontractors in various trades, from obviously electrical to folks who build out interiors, to firms that just do rough carpentry, all the way through to firms that do the finishing carpentry, cabinet installation, you name it. Any part of construction, our membership is very reflective of that. And then there's even another part of HACIA where we have architectural firms and engineering firms as well, who are part of it, our membership. And so we get a very good breadth of what's going on in the industry when projects are being designed. And this is another aspect of what we're trying to do our efforts, obviously for the Hispanic community, but also for the larger minority women business community, job seeker community who are trying to get into the trades. Out there, there's a lot of rhetoric on wanting to get jobs for local residents, and that's great. We think it's our responsibility to be able to bridge that, because it's one thing to say it, right? And it also is the actions of how do you get an individual who is interested in this involved in it and prepare them to the point where they can be successful. And that's what we believe we have right here. So we're definitely very excited about it. I just wanted to make sure that I left that point with everyone who's watching. And I also would reiterate, if you want to find out more, this is going to be on our YouTube page. We have a YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe and like it. You'll get more information and other updates as well. But take the time. Our videos are made for the internet, right? They're 2 minutes, they're quick, and they'll go through it, and you'll get a good an idea of what we do here at HACIA if you're not really sure who and what we do. But advocacy, providing a membership platform and services to our members is key. But this pre-apprenticeship program for laborers that's sponsored by Hilco Redevelopment Partners is a new initiative. We definitely want to give Hilco Redevelopment Partners their kudos on this, because they are a leader in this aspect of industrial development in Chicago's neighborhoods, and particularly for this one here in Little Village. So that brings us to the end. Dr. Urano, if you wanted to add anything else, or
I think there's a couple
closing
more
thoughts?
questions that came up. It'd probably be
Okay.
good for us to answer them. One of them is asking if this program has an alternative time because it's being offered during the day. Unfortunately, right now, it's only being offered during the day. As I mentioned, if you're interested in some of the other HACIA programs, Certainly, those are offered at night also, so you have more opportunity there. And then someone also asked, what if I have an electrical license already? I don't know if you have an electrical license and have your own business, but if you do, I would recommend that you connect to the other HACIA programming that is offered for small business owners. HACIA has exceptional training for small business owners to help them develop their skills, and also giving them technical assistance to access projects and opportunities out there. So I encourage you to communicate directly with HACIA about those opportunities. As I mentioned at the very opening, it's very important to mention HACIA is a leader in training minority small businesses in the state of Illinois, and has done so successfully for over a decade. So it's important to get connected to those opportunities and to take advantage of them.
Mhm. And those are free as well. We get funding from other sources for that because it's critical for our, obviously, overall development of our community, and to prep entrepreneurs to be better and more effective and compete at a very high level. So any other questions? One?
I think we're
All right, if there's no other questions, again, I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this. If you're watching this live, if you're watching it on a recording, be sure to check us out at our YouTube channel, HACIA.org. That's uppercase HACIA and then lowercase ORG. But check us out on our website. Make sure HACIAworks.org if you want some more information on what we do, who we are, and applications to this pre-apprenticeship program for laborers. Be sure to check us out. So on behalf of Brian Sheehan from Hillco Redevelopment Partners and Dr. Norman Buono from St. Augustine's Institute for Workforce Excellence, I'm Jorge Perez, Executive Director of HACIA. Thank you very much. Have a good night and see you soon.
Good evening.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Good evening.